our mission is to like solve ailments and do it with health technology.
It's a booming space. Knowing the product and where Therabody got its start, it got to be one of the earliest.
The origin story is essentially our founder. He got in a horrible motorcycle accident and tried everything as a chiropractor to treat it. The only thing he could figure out was like a Makita drill and wrapping, a tennis ball or some towels around it and taping it, and it worked.
Welcome into the Independent Thinking Podcast. This is your host, Rob Stott. We are rolling right along with our podcasts. We're still into October, but still, getting out of the mountain of content that was PrimeTime. What a crazy show it was back there in August. Getting the chance to meet with a lot of individuals and new people on the podcast, new brands that were at the show, and that's what we're diving into this week. A new brand, a new company that was represented on the floor of the PrimeTime Expo, and that is Therabody, which you may know for their Theragun product, the muscle pounding machine that's good for muscle therapy and recovery for athletes or gym frequenters out there. They'll certainly know that product and that brand for sure. But we had Darryl Cole, Senior VP of Retail Sales, with us at PrimeTime, and he took the time to step over to the podcast booth and chat with us here on Independent Thinking about the growth of the brand, but more specifically and kind of in relation to some of the content we've published on the blog of late, the health and wellness market in general and the opportunity there for retailers. No matter your space, honestly. It might sound crazy to have a Therabody product in an appliance store, but it's someone that's health conscious that might be coming in looking for features of a refrigerator that have health in mind and wellness. Fits right alongside of it, and we kind of get into that with Darryl and talking about the unique opportunities to put these products alongside some of the core categories that we carry here at Nationwide Marketing Group. And it's a cool concept and a cool product and a cool suite of things too, right? They've got a lot of innovation, and we mentioned the health and wellness space and just the increased attention among consumers of that category. And you could take a look at a show like CES and how much more it's represented today than it was even 5 years ago. So, coming out of something to be said about it. I hate to reference it as often as we do, but coming out of COVID and the pandemic, people have health on the mind. So something like this caters right to that audience and people that are conscious of it and want to do something and be proactive about it. So awesome opportunity to sit down with Darryl, learn more about their efforts and just this brand in general. So let's dive into it. This is Darryl Cole of Therabody here on the Independent Thinking Podcast. All right, we are back on the Independent Thinking Podcast, coming to you once again from Nationwide PrimeTime here in Las Vegas. Mr. Darryl Cole, Senior Vice President of North American Retail. I nailed it. Did I nail it?
You nailed it.
I nailed it.
It's a lot of words. We're just getting started
right?
here. Yeah.
Hey, if I nailed that, we stuck the landing already, and we're like 30 seconds in. This is incredible.
I'm going to quiz you later.
Right, we'll see if I can get it at the end. Therabody.
Yes.
So appreciate you being here. A new vendor for Nationwide Marketing Group?
Brand new. Yeah,
Brand new at this show?
Your newest vendor.
I think so.
Under the wire.
We appreciate it. I appreciate you being a new vendor, taking the time to step over here. Your booth did look well manned though. Like you had a good crew with you to be able to step aside. Do I understand when I say well manned, I mean like are there bodybuilders in there? Is that what I heard?
One dude was a tight end at like Texas A&M. Another guy, they know
they're well manned.
Our heritage is this premium athlete, and that's kind of a lot of what we have.
Before we dive into it, because I want to get to the origin story. Tell me about yourself. Tell our audience about yourself and who you are and your path to Therabody.
Yeah, so Darryl Cole, been selling to retailers something or other for a million years, over 20 years. Grew up in working in a pizzeria I could walk to in New Jersey when I was 12 years old.
Where in Jersey?
Caldwell, New Jersey.
Okay,
West Caldwell.
Philly over here.
Okay,
so
So
not too
northeast.
far.
But I learned the value of the customer.
Yep.
The proprietor, the owner of that pizzeria, beat into me how important the customer was, and from then it's always just been sales, one way or the other. So a long career in appliances, consumer electronics, and then most recently on the financing kind of side of things with a lease-to-own company, which was great, new experience, but I find myself back selling hard goods again, manufactured products, supply chain, downstream parts, boats, trucks, all the stuff I thought I'd sworn off forever I can't get away from. But I love speeds and feeds.
Yeah.
I love tech, and Therabody now is awesome because it's all health tech.
Yeah.
And our mission is really, maybe going ahead, but our mission is to like solve ailments, address problems that people are currently treating with chemicals or pills or medicine, and do it with health technology.
Yeah.
Products that address that. So
it's a booming space.
It's an awesome space.
It's crazy to see. And if knowing the product and where Therabody got its start, it got to be one of the earliest.
It was. We founded the category.
Yeah.
We invented the category. Our proprietary shape of the guns with the triangle. It's patented. It's ours, and that's the best design that there is, etc. So the origin story is essentially our founder, Dr. J. He was a chiropractor, got in a horrible motorcycle accident.
Not Dr. J. So the Philly guy, I gotta sorry, I had to ask and clear up
People always have
not
to do
Dr.
that,
J.
Yeah. It's a horrible Therabody thing that everybody
just to clear up.
Different Dr. J. Yeah.
Anyway, the
founder,
bad accident.
He got in a horrible motorcycle accident and tried everything as a chiropractor to treat it. And eventually, the only thing he could figure out was like a Makita drill and wrapping, a tennis ball or some towels around it and taping it, and it worked. And it solved his pain that he'd been living with.
That's unreal.
And that's where it started.
Yeah.
He partnered with another founder, essentially, and the two of those guys brought this category to life within the last decade.
If I understand right, that original prototype still is around somewhere?
I think it's around I didn't see it, but I heard it's here. So it might have been the last, but it's still around. Yeah, we kind of tell that story in Generation 1, Generation 2, and the evolution of it.
Yeah.
And then a funny thing kind of happened where, COVID, the dynamic that every retailer and manufacturer went through. What we saw in our category was a lot of people just nailing the price to the bottom.
Yeah.
An exploding category because anything you could get was selling in high demand, and we just saw this price erosion. And Therabody, at the time, was named Theragun.
Right.
And changed the name to Therabody, and that was part of a mission statement that's, we are going to bring this health tech from just massage devices to all of health tech.
Yeah.
So that's got us now into these 3 pillars of performance, wellness, and beauty now.
Okay.
So we're in this beauty space. You can see some of the products over there too.
Yeah.
But that's where, instead of creams and pills and things like that, you can use LED light therapy with some of our products on beauty.
Yeah.
And then in wellness, a big, huge part, and what I think is great for the members here, is the sleep innovation that we're starting to come out with. So that's a great synergy, and then of course you have kind of our core in the performance.
Yeah,
side.
well, it's a unique space. I was going to ask, and I'm glad you brought that up because it kind of helps to guide us to that point of like, CE retailer is kind of what made sense in my head at first, right? But now you're talking about the different, the beauty and the other products that you got. We got mattress dealers that this could be a perfect accessory in their stores. So there's not like one retailer that this brand is, one type of retailer that this brand is necessarily designed for.
Well, that's what's really cool about the category and our brand in particular, because we chose that path and stayed at the, kind of the premium and bringing that value and not just chasing, the wrong types of business goals, right?
Yeah.
And stood for what we believe in, is that as such a new young category and new young brand, we can be in every room of everybody's house. If you think about it, with some kind of product or the other, and we're just not there yet because of how new it is. And that's what's starting to happen, though. The product is dynamite if you use it.
Yeah.
And then you start repurchasing. So that's why I think it's really important for us to join forces with Nationwide. The company has not had that. We have a lot of sporting goods dealers and golf shops all over the country, and of course some larger partners. But this is a space that we have not made the handshake yet.
Right.
And I think there's a great opportunity.
I'm glad you brought that up too, because it's, I think of the traditional retailers where I see this, and frankly, you mentioned like this isn't the category where it typically is, right? So it is a great opportunity. Yeah. So what's I know just a couple hours of the show floor being open and whatnot, but early conversations with members, what are you hearing from them? And
it's cool. It's like, what you got to do is try the product, right? Yeah. So we are putting people in the jet boots, and that is like,
I'm gonna have to go over there now.
Now they're immobilized, right?
You got them. They can't go anywhere.
Now you just can't leave.
I see how this works. That's great.
Yeah, so we're just demoing it, and it's been a really great response so far. I think a lot of the retailers, and this is what I was hoping for, is, they come here for something new, for ideas.
Yeah.
How are they going to go forward for the next several quarters of their business, right?
Right.
This is an opportunity to do something new, and hey, do I want my RSAs on the floor to demo, when they're selling a mattress? Do I want to take a sleep mask that's a new product coming out in October, and maybe have that be, sort of buy two, get the gift card type of promotion?
Yeah.
Does it go in a thank you package after the fact?
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of ways that you can bring it to life, and on the show floor by demoing it, it's fun. It's getting a lot of talking going, but hopefully dealers are thinking, I can do this every day in my showroom. It's a different experience that they're going to have anywhere
you're
else.
giving, it's as much as it's educating them on the product itself and kind of what your pitch is to them as a retailer, you're inherently educating them on how to sell it to their customers as well.
100%.
So, it is one of those things too, and it, we've seen studies, and people that read our blog know we've covered sort of ad nauseum now the need for and craving amongst consumers for that in-person experience. This is, it's your category and brand and product specifically is one of those that you got to see it or try it to believe it.
Definitely.
And it's awesome to see some members over there getting kind of strapped in and taken for quite the ride, huh?
Oh, it's phenomenal. And the brand is it's a great brand. The leadership's phenomenal. It just stands for all the right things. Everything that we do is founded in science and based in science. So every single thing that we put out has a scientific claim, one way or the other. A lot of products you can use your HSA, FSA account.
Yeah.
It's an actual medical device.
Yeah.
And it goes really to the core, and this is, I don't know if I'm supposed to share the story, but whatever, I will. This is why you bring me on these things. But I when I'm in the LA office, I am across from one of the founders. Like my desk is across, and this guy is more on the product side. And I heard him talking to a supplier saying basically something to the effect of, you will never sacrifice quality with our product. I don't care about the cost. I want the best possible. My brand name's going on this thing. It will deliver the best experience. And he hung up the phone. I said, I will sell through a wall for you like that any day.
That's incredible.
That's how you bring
committed
product
they
to
are
life.
to it.
So,
no, that's awesome.
Yeah, phenomenal. So I think that's incredibly exciting. So yeah, it's just a lot of excitement. And I think there's a story to be told. The brand is out there a lot of places.
Yeah.
Like it's a growing brand. I can't believe it. You saw it in the gym.
I was going to say, that's what I was going to say. Yeah, there's stuff
the thing.
here.
Like we're everywhere. We have retail location in Caesars.
Yeah.
The brand is everywhere. We're everywhere, and the reception's really good because it keeps kind of working, and people start to see that need. So I think the magic is, I want to bring that to nationwide. I love the independent dealers. Like that's near and dear to me. How do we make that handshake, and how do we execute it?
The awareness is snowballing clearly. Seeing the product out there, to the education around not even just your brand, but this space, the health and wellness tech.
Yeah.
How's that coming along, and what are you guys doing in that area to make sure that the customers are learning, but to make sure these retailers know what they're talking about so that they can be the experts on the floor? Yeah,
it's really it's a lot of it is awareness. A lot of it's like, I hadn't thought of that. It's like, what if you use this instead of that? Similar kind of story. In the beginning of the early stages of the company, the founders were asked, who's your competition? By investors looking to invest in the company. And they're expecting some other device to be named, and they said melatonin. That's what we're competing. We're trying to solve these problems with health tech. Listen, we might need to talk, because I do a lot of walking at these shows, and there's a bottle in my backpack right now, so maybe I might be stopping over at that booth a little bit later. I think we just figured out the staff discount. Right? We're going to work on that right now. No, that's incredible, man. This is a great story and a great brand. I know Randy and the team are glad to have you here. It's awesome to get you on the floor and showcase this to members. It's a unique space, and I've been coming to CESs, so you've seen I think almost it's in this. Are you guys, is Wellness in the Sands, or have they moved that over to the main convention center at this point? I am too new to know. Too new. I forget. Yeah. I feel like it's in this part of the CES Expo, but neat to see the category grow to what it has. Yeah. It's a good thing. It's a good thing for the consumer. It's honestly a good thing for the marketplace. Yeah. Great thing for retailers to know how to sell products. Yeah. So I would just encourage everybody, come stop by, check the stuff out. Yeah, and we'll throw links to, if you're not here and you're watching this after the fact, we'll have all the links underneath where you can go learn more about the brand and what their story's all about. But man, this was awesome. Yeah, let's see, just a quick national. No, damn. No.
retail sales manager of North America. Is that close enough?
Close enough.
Oh, we'll just have to go back to the beginning. I'm going to edit that.
Yeah, putting the drinks on your tab later.
That's incredible, man. Darryl, I appreciate it. This was a lot of fun.
Yes, sir.
Hey, go have some fun out there.
Will do, man. Thank you so much.
All right, and thanks again to Darryl for taking that time and coming over, chatting with us about the brand. And again, like I said at the top, the health and wellness space and the growth of this category, and how a product and a brand like Therabody fits right in there, to give our retailers an edge and allow them to get into this space and sort of not too heavy of a commitment type product to be able to carry and say that you offer some health and wellness to your customers out there. So appreciate him diving into it and sharing that all with us. And as always, appreciate you listening to the Independent Thinking Podcast. And we'll catch you next time.